say, baby, baby, can I hold you tonight? Baby, if I told you the right words, ooh, at the right time, you'd be mine.
Looking snazzy, looking sleazy. There we go. Focus. I'm a vengeful man. I'm a hateful man. I'm a shitty man. I had a conversation with a mate recently, and we were talking about whether we're shitty people. And after a while, my thought was, because we're criticizing ourselves, that must mean we're not half bad. Usually people that are absolute narcissists never actually think of themselves in that capacity. They just sort of go on with life, and they're like, wait, why does everyone hate me? But they're only thinking about them antagonizing me. They're not thinking about what could I possibly be doing to antagonize them. So I thought the fact that me and my mate sat down and we thought, hey, are we bad people? And then we started listing the bad things we do, whether that's, putting garbage in recycling, or being rude to people, or stirring people too much to the point where the reaction becomes friendship ending, all that stuff. Am I recording this? Yeah. We were talking about whether we're bad people, and we came to this conclusion that bad people, good people, everyone, we all do things for other people. The idea of doing things for others has this positive connotation. It's, it's got a Christian idea too. Live your life for others. Live your life for the world, to do things for others. But people do everything for others. Criminals, they killed people for others. Even if they thought they were doing it for themselves, even if they thought they were angry, why were they angry? They were angry because someone provoked them, and at the end of the day, they're like, oh, well, I have to prove this person wrong, so I'm going to kill him. That's the most extreme example. But everything we do, and I don't mean this in a cynical way, everything we do is for other people. I usually say these extreme generalist remarks, and I imply that everyone is secretly a shitty person. I'm not saying that at all. I've been around incredible people the past year who live their entire lives for the good of the world. They still do things for other people, because at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. Everything is inherently for Sidewalk Joe. Sidewalk Joe walks past you, and you want Sidewalk Joe to either know that you're a good person, you're a dangerous person, or you're an agent of chaos. It's something. Everyone wants to be perceived in a certain way, and we do things for that. A name example is fighting. We want to come off as aggressive, or not even necessarily aggressive, but we want people to think that we have the capacity for aggression. This goes back to the most extreme monkey instincts, where if you try to touch my bananas, I want you to know that I have a capacity for chaos and I could potentially hurt you. That goes to an extreme primal level, and it's evolved to now the point where we act like thugs on the street, or we make a pic of us holding a knife, our Instagram profile, or just anything that annoying men do to show a capacity for violence. A much more civilized approach, rather than acting like a gangster on Instagram, is to learn a martial art. That's the approach I've taken for Sidewalk Joe to think that I'm badass. I want Sidewalk Joe to know that heterosexual man to heterosexual man, buddy, I will fuck you up. But it obviously goes a bit deeper than that. I guess 2 years ago when I started, I wanted a sense of respect. Everything comes down to respect. And I hate to make generalist remarks like that, because I know it doesn't really, but I'm going to for YouTube purposes, and all philosophy is incorrect. So let's just ramble on for a minute here. Everything people do is for respect, and if you were bullied as a child, it goes even deeper. Everything you do is to be feared. Like Mark Zuckerberg, I don't think he does MMA for the enjoyment of it. I think he wants to have as much power over the world as possible. As if owning our data wasn't enough, now we can do a 1-2 combo to a case of Katami, joint lock, crucifix, whatever. Like, the dude's a beast. He would kill me in a fight. I have no doubt about it. I've been doing martial arts for 2 years though, so I think Mark would take a few minutes to tap me. I could get some good defense when he has me in side control. Knee elbow escape doesn't work, I'll go for the Marcelo Garcia inversion, etc. I started Muay Thai about 2 years ago. Muay Thai was incredible. I loved it. I felt so calm immediately after. That was the main thing I noticed. Usually, I have these angry thoughts in my head because I have testosterone rushing through my blood. I'm a stupid young man sometimes, and I act like a stupid young man. Sometimes I'm able to prevent myself from externally showing it, but I still have these thoughts in my head. Trademark of a 20-year-old young guy who has no idea what the fuck he's doing, and he's thinking, "Oh, I have to break something." Ugh. I have those thoughts occasionally. I'm not proud of it, but I'm also sort of proud of it because I do martial arts. And so I started Muay Thai about 2 years ago. I fell in love with it so quickly, but I was way too much of a tryhard. I was an absolute spaz. I was actually punching people and sparring. I think people got pissed off, and they actually started punching me back. After a few months, it escalated to the point where some guy kicked me in the head. I got a major concussion. I was in hospital, and I had to quit. A year later, I start Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is known as the gentle martial art because the sacred tap prevents any injury from occurring unless you don't tap like an idiot and then your shoulder's going back there. Psh. I started BJJ and I fell in love with it the exact same way. I still do it. I've been doing mixed martial arts recently, so now I'm properly tough. Now I'll mess you up. But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's I really love not only the problem solving of it, but I feel like it's the only part of my day where I'm actually worried about survival. And I really enjoy that. This is sort of a tangent, completely non-related to what I was saying 2 minutes ago, but Maslow's hierarchy, he claims that in modern society, because we're always safe, unless we're not, we're always worried about self-actualization. Did I just say that right? Self-actualization. Actualization? Yeah. The idea that everything we do is to better ourselves and reach the greatest state of our own individual being. I think that's bullshit because blueberry vapes sell as well as the Bible. I don't think self-actualization is that much of a priority for many people. I think what people would love is to occasionally drop down a level on Maslow's hierarchy. Oh, my battery's about to die. Go down to survival, as it is. When I'm getting crushed by an 100-kilo dude and side control, as a saying in BJJ, I'm not worried about fulfilling my greatest potential. I'm worried about getting this fucker off me and surviving. And I find it so refreshing. I'm a humongous overthinker. I don't overthink when I'm there. And for an hour, like in Fight Club, where Edward Norton is, in the office and he's just chilling like that, I feel silent for a while. I feel calm. And I actually don't worry what Sidewalk Joe thinks of me when I'm at BJJ, because that's not a question. I'm just surviving. Driving in your car, through some faster, around my shoulder. I had a feeling that I belong. Had a feeling I could be someone. But yeah, I've been getting some skin in the game lately regarding what other people think of me. I really want Sidewalk Joe to know that I'm tough, I'm a savage, and that I have a positive canthal tilt. People say fighting is therapy, and they're correct, but it's in a much more weird, complex way than they're trying to say. Like, they're not trying to say it's a substitute for therapy. Pretty much all that's happening in fighting is your brain's getting rocked around your skull, and your brain's becoming quiet because it's just struggling to actually survive. But it's this feeling of calm and silence because your brain drops down from overthinking and self-philosophizing, and it just goes down to this idea of survival. You sort of get that at the gym or playing sport. Like, I'm such an overthinker. My mate and I were talking about overthinking and how if you don't do like active things in your day, you just rot around in your place and you start making monsters of people, monsters of activities. Everything becomes distorted in your mind. And I find fighting is the best thing I've ever found that reduces overthinking. You get in there and there's nothing you can do to distort reality. Reality is right there. Reality is the guy crushing you, choking you. You can't overthink or underthink. You're doing the appropriate amount of thinking because your brain is making sure of it. You are there. You are completely present. And all these stupid, irrelevant thoughts go away because you realize how stupid they are. That's what I love about it. It really just humbles me in that way, where if I've had a really troublesome day, whether for good or bad reasons, I go in there and I realize how insignificant things are. For that, I really recommend fighting. And I suck at it. Don't get me completely wrong. I'm about to be a blue belt in BJJ. I'm a decent striker. I have some combos, but I completely suck at it compared to the guys who have been doing it for years. They beat my ass. These dads who have a beer belly with 4 kids, they'll show up once a week, but they've been doing it 10 years and they beat my ass. It's not even a match. It's just them laughing while they're beating me up. I'm completely okay with it. It's so humbling and I love it. Oftentimes when you hear on social media and especially like YouTube Shorts a lot, that guys usually start the gym or boxing or they take steroids because they're sick of being disrespected or they were bullied as a kid. And briefly they feel powerful, like they've overcome their demons, and then every single time it becomes dysmorphic, where it isn't just muscles, it becomes this representation of now my childhood bully will never beat me up. It happens in martial arts too, don't get me wrong. You start catastrophizing worse and worse scenarios in your head. You become a blue belt and then you think, wait, what if my opponent's a purple belt? So you become a black belt and then you think, wait, what if there's two of them? Okay, so you learn striking too. When you think, wait, what if they have a knife? Okay, so you learn IDF Krav Maga as well. And it just becomes more and more of this mentalization of these extremely unrealistic scenarios. When in reality, assuming you don't live in a third world country and given you're watching a guy rambling on YouTube about pretty much nothing, I assume you don't. The only fights that happen is a guy throwing haymakers at you 15 standards deep in the pub, and you don't need years of martial arts to learn how to beat that. And you just walk away every time. Martial arts, for me, it's not about self-defense. It's not about beating my enemies up. It's just this extremely cathartic thing. I really recommend martial arts for that. It is the most cathartic thing I've ever found, especially for overthinkers. And for people who don't think they would enjoy martial arts, I think you'll enjoy it even more because it goes so much against your system and it just takes you away from every distortion you've created in your head. If you make monsters out of people, if you make monsters out of certain tasks, or you're just scared to take action in life, yeah. But anyway, I guess I'll see you guys in 6 months. That's my little gem of the year. Go to a martial art, whether it's BJJ, Muay Thai, whatever, whichever one you can stick to. Wrestling, judo, it's all good. It's all amazing.